Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Friend goals since 1980. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainely Movies. As part of my coverage of the 2022 Toronto International Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2022 dark comedy drama, Moving On, which will be released in theaters on March 17th. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Moving On stars Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Malcolm McDowell, and was directed by Paul Weitz. It tells the story of estranged former friends, Claire and Evelyn, who reconnect at a funeral and plot revenge for an incident that happened decades earlier. Well, this movie certainly took its time coming out of TIFF. Quite a few films that premiere at TIFF already have distribution and a release date in place prior to their premiere, but there are many smaller movies that go in without distribution representation and pick it up as a result of the festival. Now, there are some movies that you could tell are gonna take a while to get released, if they ever do, but there are others that you just know are gonna get scooped up right away. And I'll admit that I thought Moving On was gonna fall into that latter category. I mean, we're talking a breezy 85-minute dark comedy drama starring Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. But of the 26 films I saw at TIFF last year, it's one of the last ones to get an official release. Oh well, better 6 months late than never. Moving On is a plot-driven revenge dramedy. And when I say plot-driven, I mean it in both senses of the term. The plot, or story, certainly takes precedence over any genuine character development, which isn't an unexpected thing given how short the film is, but it's also plot-driven in the sense that it's built around a revenge plot, a criminal plot, a murder plot. Because of this, we're given a pretty well-defined storyline to follow. This film is both obvious and unexpected at the same time. We know what the intended end goal is, and even though the movie builds itself around a vague and mysterious past incident, it's pretty clear from the outset what the motivation behind this revenge plot is. So the story follows many of the expected beats, but there are still some surprising moments and turn of events throughout this comedic geriatric murder plot. That said, there are a lot of elements to this film that'll feel very familiar to fans of 9 to 5. Speaking of which, the re-teaming of Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin is wonderful here, and easily the best aspect of the film. They still have fantastic chemistry with one another, and really good comedic timing and general interplay. Even with the dark subject matter, these two are incredibly funny together, especially Lily Tomlin, who breaks out the punchy one-liners with the ease of a comedic master. There are definitely some hints of the type of comedic relationship we saw between them in 9 to 5, more than 4 decades ago, not to mention some fun references. But in this film, Fonda and Tomlin star as long estranged college roommates. So Moving On is as much a story about rekindled friendship as it is a story about a revenge plot. With its situationally humorous premise and the pairing of comedic legends Fonda and Tomlin, you'd think that this film would be comedy gold. And it certainly generates a lot of laughs, but it's also one tonally inconsistent film. Now, I'm a big fan of dark comedy. I love that seemingly incompatible mashup of humor and the macabre. I also appreciate the often much-needed levity that gets injected into dramedies. But Moving On really struggles to find the right balance, especially as it moves into the third act. Without giving anything away, the instigating incident at the core of this story is certainly something that's very difficult to make light of. And it shows, because the film doesn't even attempt to convert it into a joke. And rightfully so. Unfortunately, that means that there are some jarring tonal shifts as the film goes back and forth between playful dark revenge comedy and suddenly very serious survivor trauma. It takes the film in a downbeat direction that feels at odds with the comedy used throughout much of its runtime, making it kinda tonally and emotionally confusing as a film. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. The biggest pro is definitely the chemistry between Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. It's really hard to go wrong with these two. I mean, we've known for more than 40 years now that they've got great chemistry and are hysterical together, and they've still got it. Each of them fall into their typical comedic role when paired together, but what's wrong with that? They're extremely funny together, but with the film's more serious emotional undercurrent, their natural chemistry also lends credence and believability to the fact that these characters are former best friends with a long history. They've got both the comedy and believable female friendship down pat here. On the con side, the biggest issue is the tonal inconsistency. This film starts off fine on the tonal front, with plenty of chuckle-worthy dark comedy, but it really falters as it transitions from the second act to the third act. There's still quite a bit of humor, but it feels at odds with the suddenly serious emotional trauma that comes to the forefront of the story. It all makes sense from a story perspective, but doesn't quite work from a comedy perspective, leaving it hard to judge just how you should appropriately be reacting to the story. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Moving On or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give Moving On 3 out of 5 paws. It's an entertaining but tonally inconsistent comedy drama filled with laughs and emotional trauma. Luckily, Fonda and Tomlin still have fantastic chemistry together and really help to elevate the material. I would recommend Moving On to people who like dark comedies. This one takes a few jarringly serious turns at times, but the darkly comedic tale of a geriatric murder plot still offers plenty of chuckles. If you like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, or especially Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin together, then there will be plenty for you to enjoy. If you liked Moving On, I would recommend 9 to 5. This is another comedy starring Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, alongside Dolly Parton, as they hatch a revenge plot against their boss, complete with tons of situational humor and comedy of errors. Although the plots are a bit different between the two films, there are still a lot of similarities, and even several references in Moving On. If you'd like to see another somewhat recent film with a very funny Lily Tomlin, you might want to watch Grandma. Like Moving On, it was written and directed by Paul Weitz and focuses on Tomlin playing a character willing to do anything to help someone she loves. And if you just can't get enough of the Fonda-Tomlin pairing, you might want to watch 80 for Brady. The tone is a little more consistent, focusing primarily on straightforward comedy, but it centers on another friendship plan, just slightly less criminal. In addition to Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, Sally Field and Rita Moreno also join in on the shenanigans. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Moving On? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite actor-friend pairing? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insider information out of this review, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.